Hey, good evening, friends. How's it going? Today's Saturday evening, and we're finishing up in the milk barn with Oakley back here, and just wanted to bring you a message. Again, my curiosity is sparked so easily. I planted my garden today, was out in the garden with my two daughters. My son was running around, working in the dirt, working in the soil, putting seeds in the ground, and it was, I don't know, I just couldn't stop thinking about, if Jesus came back today and he was hungry, what would I feed him? And I know exactly what I feed him because I know exactly where he'd want to be. It's in a garden. And like I've asked myself this 100 times, if Jesus came back, would we take him to something in the face of convenience? Would we bless the food in the name of something that pillages and degrades the quality of creation? Because many times we as Christians do this because we've compromised the quality in the name of convenience. And there's nothing convenient about planting and pulling weeds and harvesting food from a garden. Although every time Jesus went to pray, it seemed like he was there in a garden. Lots of things happened in a garden in the Bible, good and bad. Any rate, the point of this video is there's an interview I'm going to post below. If any of this spawns your curiosity, there's two guys right now that are just huge game changers of doctors in the functional medicine. Dr. Peter Attia and Dr. Mark Hyman are two of the people that are really making the most noise right now about food policy, food transparency, the food industry, and how government plays a role in that, and how we as consumers can play a role in that just by being educated. We often are on fad type diets, and we listen to the news about, they'll come on and say, oh, in a new study, eggs are healthy. Well, it's cherry-picked information, and they put that crap on there to just throw us astray, and we're all so damn confused, and we, lock ourselves into diets that, are so far on the extreme, like carnivores on over here, and then you got vegan over here, and we do it, and just because somebody else did it or somebody else kind of marketed the idea to us. And the fact of the matter is like, if you don't know your body well enough by this point to know what foods are going to make you perform well, emotionally stable, cognitive machine, and have a ton of energy in the afternoons, you're probably not going to find them under the name of a certain diet, because the diet should change all throughout the year based on what the sun's doing, how much daylight do we have in the day. There's a time to eat fruit and a time not to eat fruit. Things that are in season, things that don't have an ingredient list. As I spoke before, like an egg does not have an ingredient list because it's an egg. You don't have to mix things to make an egg. It's just an egg. Or a radish. It's just a radish. Or an avocado. When you go to the grocery store, do this sometime. Read the ingredient list on a flippin' loaf of bread. It's not bread anymore. It's a science experiment. Bread used to just be what? Flour, salt, a little bit of yeast, some water, and now it's like has things in it we can't even pronounce, just so it'll sit on the shelf longer. That's not nourishing our bodies. Just so we're understanding each other. Anyway, I'll cut this off. Please listen to the interview. Please take some time to listen to what these two guys talk about. If your child isn't performing in school, it's probably not the child's fault. They may just have brain fog due to the consumption of overly crappy food. Yep. If your kid is sucking at sports, it could have something to do with food and sports drinks, which are not helping the child perform better athletically. It has a huge, profound effect on how children perform physically, mentally, and emotionally, if we haven't gotten that across to each other by now. Any rate, listen to the interview, not to me, because I'm an idiot with a pitchfork and a cell phone, and these two guys have PhDs. Good night.